All right, what is going on, guys? This is Coach Munir, and in this video, I'm going to tell you why the strong get stronger and the lean get leaner. Wait, that didn't come out right. Let me just pull up my presentation. I'm going to show you guys exactly what we have going on today. Really, really exciting stuff that I want to share with you guys as far as strength, muscle, and metabolic capacity. And the real quote that I meant to say is why the strong get leaner and the lean get stronger, and how you can utilize strength training to burn more fat while eating more. However, the strong do get stronger, the lean do get leaner, because when you're in the right rhythm with any of these things, they not only complement each other, but they complement themselves. Meaning, if you're already in a good rhythm with strength training, you're just going to continue to gain strength as long as you're doing the right actions that prevent plateaus, and as long as you know how to prevent plateaus. And likewise, if you know how to get lean and build a fast metabolism, you will just continue to see what I call unstoppable progress, meaning your progress does not stop. So let's talk about how strength and muscle and metabolic capacity relate, because that is one of the most powerful things you could possibly learn in fitness to create a sustainable rhythm with fitness where you actually enjoy it and you get unstoppable results. Your results never stop. So let's first talk about what causes fat burning and what causes strength gain, okay? So fat burning occurs when you burn more calories than you consume, aka a calorie deficit. So if you were to consume only 1,200 calories a day, but you only burn 1,200 calories a day, well, you're not going to lose weight. In contrast, you could eat more than twice as much, 2,500, but if you're burning 3,500, you're going to lose 2 pounds per week. Why 2 pounds per week? Because each pound of fat is roughly 3,500 calories. So if you're in a deficit of 1,000 calories a day, 7 days a week, that means that your total deficit for the week is 7,000 calories, which divided by 3,500 is 2 pounds of fat. So, and again, that differs from person to person. There's genetics, there's water weight, there's so many different factors. So none of these things are set in stone. I've seen people lose more than that, less than that. You know, everybody's different. But again, I want to give you a general guideline here so you can understand the principle and apply it to yourself. And you might lose fat faster than that. You might lose fat slower than that. You may or may not be able to get your metabolism up to 3,500 calories a day, but the faster we can get it, the more fat you're going to burn. And that's the main takeaway I want you to have from this message today. So now let's talk about strength gain. So strength gain occurs when mind-muscle connection, aka you're activating the right musculature and not just like overloading the joints or swinging around the weight, and progressive overload, aka increasing the stimulus, usually weight, but sometimes reps, volume, aka number of sets, rest periods, whatever you're increasing the difficulty on, stimulates the muscle to drive adaptations through a principle called progressive overload. And then obviously if you're getting enough protein and calories for recovery, you're going to see results. So what does that have to do with eating more food and losing more weight? Well, the thing is, when you lift more, your demand for calories for the purposes of recovery increases, which intrinsically is going to shift more of the calories you eat from not being stored as fat. So less of the calories you eat are going to be stored as fat, is what I meant to say. And less, obviously, fat storage means that more fat burning. And so you're going to get some intrinsic fat loss immediately because your nutrient partitioning is enhanced. So essentially, I kind of butchered that paragraph there. I confused myself with my own wording, but essentially you want to think about it this way. When you stimulate muscle growth, your muscles become very hungry for calories, okay? Your insulin sensitivity goes up. Your muscles are intaking calories and protein for the purposes of recovery, meaning more of it, if you were to eat the exact same amount of calories, but you're stimulating muscle growth, more of those calories go to muscle, less of them go to fat. That is what enhanced nutrient partitioning means. And because less calories are going to fat, that means that you're intrinsically going to lose some fat because there are less calories being stored as fat, and therefore your body is able to lose fat. Now, the beautiful thing is that when you lift more weights, you give yourself a stronger stimulus for growth within reason. Obviously, you don't want to overtrain because that's going to F up your hormones and sabotage this whole thing. But when you lift more, your muscle mass increases. And the more muscle you have, the more your baseline metabolic rate goes up as well. Now, everybody has a different amount, just because everybody's different, there's differing amounts by which muscle is going to increase the amount of calories that you burn. There are some studies that show that you burn 30 to 50 calories per day from every pound of muscle. There are some that say you only burn 6 to 10. In my experience, if I get a client to gain about 10 pounds of muscle, they're going to be burning an extra 500 to 1,000 calories per day, which is pretty awesome. That doesn't mean that each pound of muscle burns 50 to 100 calories a day, because there's other factors such as increasing their calories, reverse dieting, a number of other reasons why in the process of gaining about 5 to 10 pounds of muscle, our clients are going to burn an extra 500 to 1,000 calories a day. But I digress. And it depends on the person too. Like if I have a 140-pound woman, her metabolism is probably going to go up by only about 300 calories per day if we gain about 5 pounds of muscle, versus, you have a 21-year-old man who weighs, let's say 300 pounds. I mean, just by lifting period, he's going to be in a massive deficit. And that has to do with leptin, which is another hormone that is higher in people with more weight, which is why the more weight you have to lose, the faster you lose it when you take the right actions. But again, that kind of goes beyond the scope of what we're going to talk about today. I have that in other videos. And if you have questions, just drop a comment and let me know. So anyways, when you increase your muscle, you're going to burn fat both on the front end and, of course, on the back end, which is going to give you more longevity to your progress. And then lastly, when you lift more, so when you lift more, you're building muscle, you're losing fat, you're enhancing your nutrient partitioning, you're building more muscle. So the beautiful thing about this is you can increase your calorie consumption while losing weight. And you actually have to increase your calories, otherwise you're not going to see progress. Because let's say that you lift more, but you're not eating more, then guess what? Your body's going to go into a bit of a stress and starvation mode and slow its metabolism down and give you the opposite effect. So when you start lifting more, you actually have to eat more. But the beautiful thing is, even though you're eating more, because you're lifting more, you're going to lose fat and build muscle at the same time. And you're going to do so for a very long time, because the more muscle you have, the faster your metabolism gets in the long run. Okay? So I stumbled on a couple of my paragraphs there. I might have written this in a confusing way for myself, or maybe it's just because it's late in the day and I've had a lot of meetings today. So my apologies if I confused you there, but simple stuff. You lift more, you eat more, you burn fat, you build muscle because your nutrition is better and you have more muscle on your body. Simple as that. So here's an example of a client who achieved this exact result. Waleed Halti, one of our top clients actually, and the reason he's a top client is because the dude runs a business with 200 employees, yet he still makes it happen, no excuses, and he's an inspiration for us all. As you can see, he gained muscle in the upper chest and pretty much everywhere, the arms, everywhere, and of course, he lost the belly and got a six-pack. So, you know, the funny thing is, on the left, he was actually eating 1,500 calories a day. On the right, he's eating 2,200 calories a day. Now, why is that? That somebody could eat more, yet lose 20 pounds and freaking get abs, as opposed to having a belly when you're eating very low. And there's a couple of reasons. His cortisol, his stress hormone levels were high, which inhibits fat loss as well, which is why a lot of guys get stress-related weight gain when they have stress, and women get the same negative effect. But he was also overtraining. He was training twice a day, 6 days a week. So what we did was we reverse dieted him to 2,200 calories a day while using mind-muscle connection and progressive overload to strength train 4 days a week. We also cut down on cardio to reduce his stress hormones. And what we saw was he lost 20 pounds of scale weight, going from the 170s to the 150s. I believe he was somewhere between 171 and 173, and we finished around 151 to 153 in 90 days. Got shredded, lost the belly, got abs, and again, he's running, you know, a company with 200 employees, and he works up to 16 hours a day. The dude's so busy that you know, he's very hard to reach, yet he still was able to prioritize his fitness goals and make it happen. So if you want to be able to implement this principle for yourself, if you find yourself currently eating less than 10 times your body weight in calories per day, now obviously if you're like 300 pounds, that doesn't mean that you have to, I mean, you could theoretically lose fat on like, you know, 2,700 calories a day. But again, there is a lot of individualization. But for the typical types of clients we work with who, you know, for the women usually weigh about 150 to 180, and for men usually weigh about 180 to 240. Occasionally, of course, we do get clients, like I have a client who weighed 360 when we started. Now we're down to 345, 15 pounds down in 3.5 weeks, which is awesome. I have a female client who started off at 265, and now she's in the 250s after just a couple weeks as well. So very fast progress for a woman. But again, it just depends on the person. But as a general rule of thumb, if you're eating less than 10 times your body weight in calories per day, you have to reverse diet up slowly by about 5 to 10% per week. And again, I can help you individualize this. And that's while strength training, and that's how you're going to get yourself out of this sort of diet rut with the slow metabolism that you're currently stuck in. Okay? And obviously, if you want more info on this or you need some customization, even if you just want more info on this, I have plenty of resources and videos I can send you on reverse dieting to help you. And then if you need further help from there, I'm happy to consult you around this and possibly work with you. Now, the thing with reverse dieting is we got to make sure that we're not just eating more, but we're also cutting down a little bit on cardio slowly, and we're using progressive overload with mind-muscle connection and the right techniques so you don't hurt yourself, so that you're driving for the muscle growth and you're improving your nutrient partitioning. So, again, I've got a lot of resources on this too if you'd like to learn more as well. And if you don't want to do strength training because you're like, oh, I'm afraid of gaining muscle, blah, blah. Well, first off, if you're a girl and you don't want to have a big upper body, just don't train upper body. Train legs and you'll have a nice butt and nice legs. Easy, right? But if you decide that you don't even want to do strength training and you just want to do cardio and starve yourself, well, guess what? You're going to have a harder time sticking to it. Your results are going to slow down for a couple of weeks. There's a high chance you're going to rebound when you lose consistency or when you burn out or get tired or whatever. You're going to be miserable, and you're going to stress out your body and damage your metabolism. So obviously, you might as well just train for muscle growth. It's more time efficient, and when you lose the fat, if you have muscle underneath, you're going to look better when you lose the fat anyways, instead of just looking like a smaller version of yourself who still has a belly. And the best part about training for muscle growth is that you're going to lose fat faster, for longer, more consistently, while actually enjoying the process. So if you have questions, let me know in the comments or in the DMs if it's confidential. If you need help, let me know. If you have questions, either way, let me know. Obviously, I'd rather you comment the questions so we can create a thread of value for everybody, but I know that with fitness questions, sometimes they can be very personal and confidential. So if you'd like to ask me a private question, just send me a message in the DMs. Appreciate you for being here. I hope you learned a lot from this. Let me know what you learned in the comments, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And of course, if you have questions or are confused about anything, happy to answer as well. Just shoot me a DM or question or comment, and I'll answer your question. See you guys in the next video. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys, and let's keep crushing it.